Okay, so this is Raffles. So make sure you are at the right paper. Okay, right paper. Raffles Girl SA1 and then right 2019. Okay, so let's go to question one. Right, question one. Okay, so you check with your answers, and if your answer is correct, then give yourself the marks, and then we add up the marks, see how many marks you get for paper one. Okay, so what does the digit 7 in 50.763 stands for? All right, now if you look at this number, now 50, right? 50.763, right? 50.763. Okay, so what is the place value, right? Place value. This is what? There's a decimal here, right? There's a decimal point, right? Decimal point. So this is your whole number, right? Your whole number, right? And so this is ones, tens, right? Ones and tens. Okay, this is your tenth, right? If I were to draw a arrow, right? This is your 10, and then this will be your 100 with a TH, right? And then this will be the 1,000. Okay, the 1,000 with a TH. Okay, so this is called place value. And then how about this one? The 0 will be the ones. Okay, the ones place, and then the 5 will be the tens, right? Tens. Okay, so the different place value. Then what does the digit 7 stands for? 7/10, right? 7/10. So your answer will be number 2, right? 7/10. So you must know the different place value. Okay, then let's go to the next one. What is 8,040,000? Okay, no need to copy down because it's recorded. So you just have to check. Is your answer correct? Answer correct, then okay, well done. If the answer is not correct, you don't have to copy down because recorded. But if you think there's something important, then you write down. So what is 8 million? Now 8 million has how many zeros? There will be 6 zeros, right? 6 zeros and 40,000. So you have 40,000. Okay, so try not to do mental sum because it's a very big number. So what I will do is I will add them together. I will do working. So 8 million and 40,000. So your answer will be what? Your answer will be number 3. Okay, right? So any mistake? Okay, now let's go to the next one. John has $160. He has $100 more than Kim. So express the money John has as a fraction of the money Kim has. Okay, now model drawing. All right, you see more than, then you draw the model. Even though it may look simple, but Mr. will like you to always draw the model, even though it looks simple or you think it's simple. So John has more than Kim. Draw a rectangle. Kim has shorter rectangle. And John has 160 and he has $100 more than Kim, right? So you can find how much Kim has already. So you take 160 minus 100, Kim must have $60. Now, how do you get the fraction? Now, you see the word express, right? Express. Then how do you write the fraction? Now, express the money John has. So John is the numerator, right? John has 160, right? See, John is the numerator. And then Kim is what? Kim is the denominator, which is 60. So express the money that John has as a fraction of the money Kim has. So you may have to memorize this, how to get the fraction. You have the word express, then how to get your fraction. Numerator, first person is the numerator, then the second person must be the denominator. Okay, so this one you may have to memorize. And then simplest form, you divide by 10, right? And then 16 divided by 2 and 6 divided by 2, right? 6 divided by 2. So what is your fraction? Which is 8/3. Answer number 4. So it doesn't mean that your fraction must always be, it doesn't mean that the numerator must always be smaller than the denominator. In this answer, you can see that it is an improper fraction. All right? So lesson here, when you see the word express, right? Then how to get the fraction, right? The first person is the numerator. The second person will be the denominator, right? It's not right only denominator. You can memorize that. First one is the numerator. Second one is the denominator. Okay, let's go to next question. Now, how about this? Carrie has 7 3/4 times as many as Sam. How to do arrow pointing? That is a mixed number. You cannot point the arrow because in the mixed number there are 3 digits. So how to point? How do you point the arrow to the person? So you need to take the mixed fraction and change it to improper, times 4 and then plus 3. Right? 7 times 4 is 28. 28 plus 3 is 31/4. then you can do what? Then you can do arrow pointing. Harry has 31 quarter as many as Sam, right? Then you can do arrow pointing already because there are only two numbers there. So the numerator points to the first one, denominator points to the second one. So what is the ratio of Harry's marbles to Sam's marble? So Harry has 31, Sam has 4. So 31 is to 4, which is answer number 4. Do you get the answer correct? Okay. Now find the value. Find the value of 3 minus 2y over 5. So your 3 minus, what is 2y? 2 times y, 2 times 4, and then over 5. Okay? So how to do this? Now you have to change the improper fraction to mixed number. So how to change to mixed number? 3 minus, you take the improper fraction, 8 divided by 5, right? So you have 1 times 5, and you get your remainder, right? So you're changing the improper fraction to mixed number. So 1 and 3 over 5. So your mixed number is 1 and 3 over 5. You understand? Then you can minus, because it's a bit hard to minus 3 wholes minus improper fraction is a bit hard. So you change it to mixed number, and then what happens next? Now, do you know how to change the 3 wholes into, what do you do? Can you tell me what do you do? 3 wholes, what can you change into? 3 wholes. So what do? You take out one hole, you have 2 holes left, and then the 1 hole you take out become a fraction with the same denominator, right? Yeah, that's how you change the 3 holes into a fraction, right? Take out one hole becomes 5 feet, and you have 2 holes and 5 feet, then you minus 1 and 3 feet. So what answer do you get? Now, you have 2 minus 1, that's 1. 5 minus 3, that'll be 2 feet. So what is your answer? Your answer is 1 and 2 feet. Okay? Got it? All right, let's go to the next one. All right, question number 6. You have to count the gaps. For number 6, what is the mass of the durian? So you count the gaps. How many gaps are there? From 0, you start counting the lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are 10 gaps or 10 lines. 10 gaps is 500 grams. So what is one gap? One gap is 500 divided by 10. One gap is 50 grams. All right, now the arrow has crossed 100 already. Okay, the arrow has crossed 1,000 already. All right, so 1,000 and how many? So you start counting. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, 8. So that's the 8 units. Right, 8 units after 1,000. Right, so there'll be 8 times 50, or 50 times 8. You get 5 times 8 is 40. Put a 0 behind. So what is the mass of the durian? You take 1,000 plus 400, and you will get how many? So 1,000 plus 400, you will get 1,400 grams, but your answer doesn't have 1,400 grams. So you have to change it to kilogram. So how to change it to kilogram? You take 1,400 divided by 1,000. All right. So to change the grams to kilogram, you have to divide by 1,000. So how? You make the 1,400 into a decimal, then you shift to the left, 1, 2, and 3. Got it? And you will get what? After dividing by 1,000, you will get 1.4. So 1.4 kilogram. So your answer is number 2. So what's the lesson here? You have to divide by 1,000. So you have to move the decimal point to the left. Okay, because when you divide, you move to the left. You get the answer correct? Okay, yeah. Let's go to the next one. Now, what is the smallest to the biggest? Cannot compare. You have to make the fractions all the same denominator, right? So how do you make the denominator all the same? Then what do? You look at the denominators. Can you find the common multiple? You have to find the common multiple. So look at the biggest number. Look at this one and get the multiples. Can 16 divided by 5? Cannot. Can 24 divided by 5? This is a shortcut. So you don't have to write many numbers. So can 24 divided by 5? Cannot. How about 32 divided by 5? Cannot. How about 40 divided by 5? Can. And then can 40 divided by 2? Also can. So you make the denominator into 40. That's how you find the common multiple. Okay, so let's make the denominator into 40. So this is 40, and this is 40, and then the denominator also 40. All right, so you take 8 times 5, and then 5 times 5. So this will be 25 over 40, 2 times 20, and 1 times 20. So you have 1 and 20 over 40, 5 times 8, and 2 times 8. That will be 16 over 40. Okay, so now can you compare which is the smallest? The smallest must be 16 over 40, which is over here, 2/5. 2/5 is the smallest, right? And then which is the next biggest? The next biggest must be 5 over 8. And then the biggest one must be 1.5, right? So your answer is what? Your answer must be number 3, right? Number 3. So do you get the answer correct? Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, John was facing a school, right? And what happened? He made a 90-degree clockwise. So from here, clockwise, he's facing the library. And then he followed by a 270 degrees anti-clockwise, which is going back. Now you have to break up the 270 into smaller numbers, right? Smaller numbers, so that it's easier to turn, right? Break up into smaller numbers. So now you have to go anti-clockwise already. So from library, you turn 180. Can you see that? And then you turn another 90 anti-clockwise, like this. So where was he facing in the end? Market. Do you get the answer, market? Okay, so the answer is markets. All right, number 3. Okay, let's go to the next one. So what percentage of the square is shaded? Now, you look at the square, look at the figure, there are triangles and there are some small triangles, and there's a big triangle. So you have to cut it into all same shapes. So if I cut it into all same shapes, then you can see that all the shapes are triangles. So what percentage? Now, this one told you before, write as a fraction is faster, right? What fraction of the figure is shaded is faster. So how to get your fraction? The denominator is all the triangles. There are total 16 triangles. How many triangles are shaded? Which is 4 over 16. And then what's the fraction? Which is simplest form, 1/4. Now, if you get your fraction, right, you can convert to percentage, which is faster. So you just have to make the denominator 100, 4 times 25, 1 times 25. So how many percent of the square is shaded? So 25%. So that's why Mr. always keep saying, if you see what percentage, well, write your fraction, easier. If you can write as a fraction, it's easier to get your percentage later. So answer is number 1. Otherwise, it will be hard, or it will be quite hard to get the percentage. You get the answer correct? Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, question 10 looks a lot of words there. 23 pupils from class 5A and 37 pupils from class 5B went for a baking workshop. The total cost of the workshop for both classes was 900. What was the cost of the workshop for one pupil? So how much did one pupil pay? So you have to add all the pupils together. You take 23 plus 37. So there is a total of 60 pupils. And they all pay how much? They all pay $900, which is the total cost. And then you divide by 60 to get how much is one person. So you shortcut, divide by 10, divide by 10. Okay, then you take 90 divided by 6. So one person must have paid $15, right? Each person paid $15. So answer number 1. Okay, so this is your 1 mark question. So in the exam, PSLE, of course, you must do well for the 1 mark. Okay, now, what is angle BEC? You have a rectangle, right? Your angle BEC. So you have to mark out the question mark. Okay, how do you find this question mark? Okay, now this one not easy. Okay, it looks okay, but is it easy? Think carefully. This is a rectangle. Rectangle has right angles at the corners. Remember, right angles. So can you find this angle? 90 minus 30, 60. And then this angle, 90 minus 20, 70. So rectangle has right angles. Okay, then how do you get the question mark? 180 minus 70 minus 60. And the question mark must be 50 degrees. So your question mark, angle, 50. You get the answer correct? Okay, so you have 2 marks. Okay, now this one looks a bit, okay, algebra. Maybe is X years old. She is baby, 3 times as old as her brother. Okay, so how old is the brother? Now, so if baby is X years, right? Baby is X years. Okay, then the brother must be what? Is it 3x? No, all right, baby is 3 times as old as the brother. So you must take X divided by 3, right? Because the brother is younger, right? X divided by 3. You understand? Baby is 3 times, means the baby is 3 times as old as the brother. So the brother must be 1 time. So you take X divided by 3 to get how many is 1 time. Okay, so how old is the brother in 2 years' time? So if the brother is X over 3, then 2 years' time, you just plus 2, right? Plus 2. So how old is the brother now? I mean, how old is the brother in 2 years' time? The answer is number 3. Okay, all right. Okay, let's go on to the next one. So let's go to question 13. Look, a fishmonger has 12.3 kilogram of prawns and 32.08 kilogram of fish in the morning. He had a total of 8.205 kilogram of prawns and fish left at the end of the day. How much prawn and fish did he sell that day? So what do? Now, you find how much prawn and fish at first. So how do you find at first? You take 12.3 and you plus 32.08, right? To get how many prawns and fish altogether at first. So be careful with the adding because it's decimal. So you have 8, then you plus decimal point 4 and 3. So he has 34.38 kilogram at first. Then in the end, he had a total of 8.205 kg left. So how much did he sell? So you take 34.38, which is the total at first, and you need to minus away how much he has left, which is 8.205 kg. Okay? If you have done that, then your answer should be correct. Okay, there's a blank space, put a 0. And then 0 cannot minus 5, so borrow, and then you lend. So 10 minus 5 is 5, 7 minus 0 is 7, 3 minus 2 is 1, and 4 cannot minus 8. What must you do? You borrow, and then you lend. Okay, so 40 minus 8 is 6, and 2 minus nothing is 2. So how much did he sell that day? He must have sold, did Mr. make a mistake? Because you can see that the answer is not, the answer is not the same, right? Mr. make a mistake. What's the mistake? The mistake is what? This is not 3. Okay, if you look carefully, there's a mistake. This is 4. Okay, there's a mistake there, right? 44.38. So what happens? So we have some calculation error. So how much did he have at first? 44.38. Then you minus, okay, minus how much he has in the end, which is 8.205. Okay, got it? All right, so be careful. Sometimes you're lucky because why? Like Mr. is lucky because it's a multiple choice question. You have the answer ready, but the answer 1, 2, 3, 4 not the same, and that's how you know the mistake. But if this is an open-ended problem, right? Open-ended, then you will be able to check. So you have to be very careful when you do your calculation. All right, otherwise open-ended, you will know it's a mistake already. Okay, so borrow, all right, and then you lend. So 10 minus 5 is 5, 7 minus 0 is 7, 3 minus 2 is 1, decimal point, borrow because you cannot minus, and then you lend. Okay, so 14 minus 8 is 6 and 3. So you have 36.175 kilograms. So now you have the answer ready. Understand? Okay, quite easy. Now let's go to the next one. Looks a little bit hard already, the next one. Now the area of the shaded part is 20% of the area of the square. Now there's a very important lesson here. What's the lesson here? This is a percentage problem. Now you need to open your ears very big because this is a very good question. The shaded part is 20% of the square. The second group, all right, second group or whatever, second person, second group or second whatever is always 100%. And then the first group is 20%. Okay, can you remember that? Second group is always 100%. You remember that, you can solve already. All right, now the area of the unshaded part is 40 cm. Okay, the area of the unshaded part is 40 cm square. What is the area of the square? So what do? Can we put the percentage into the diagram? The shaded part is 20%. And the whole area, okay, the whole area is 100%. So which means that the unshaded must be how many percent? If the whole square is 100%, then the unshaded must be 80, right? 80% already, correct? And the area of the unshaded part is also 40 cm squared. So your 80% is the unshaded, that is 40 cm squared, right? So can you find what's the area of the whole square? How to find? You need to find how many is 100%, which is the whole square. So you just have to divide by 8 to get 10%, right? 10%. And then over here, you can also divide by 8 to get 5 cm squared. And then later, you can times 10, right? And then over here, you also times 10. So that's also one way to do faster, right? And then 5 times 10, what's the area of the square? The area of the square is 50 cm squared. Okay, that's the area of the square. So your answer is number 2. Okay, got it? All right, you have a mistake for this? No mistake? Okay, well done. Okay, let's go to the next one. Percentage again, right? So be careful with the percentage because it can be a bit hard when there's percentage. Now, the price of the microwave oven was 1/8 of the price of the refrigerator. Okay, so the micro oven is what? Is one unit. Okay, 1 unit. Okay, and then the fridge is 8 units. Now, during a sale, a 25% discount was given for the fridge. So what was the ratio of the price of the microwave oven to the fridge during the sale? Okay, looks a bit confusing, right? Okay, now, so don't worry, read carefully, right? Don't panic. Now, microwave oven costs 1 unit. There's no discount for the microwave oven, right? You're supposed to find the ratio of the microwave oven to the fridge during the sale. So microwave oven got no discount. So it's still 1 unit. But the fridge is 8 unit, right? So, but there's a discount for the fridge. So before you can have the discount, you must always start with 100%. Remember, right? Always start with 100%. And how much is 100%? Which is 8 units. Okay, very important. Before you can have the discount, you always have 100% first. Then can you find how much is the discount, which is 25%? So 25% will be how many units? So you divide by 4, and then the other side, you also divide by 4. So the discount is 2 units. It means that you pay 2 units lesser, right? You don't pay 8 units. You pay how many units? You pay 8 units minus 2 units, which is a discount. And you only pay 6 units. So what is the price of the oven to the fridge during the sale, which is 6, right? The fridge is 6 units. So 1:6. And that's your answer number 2, right? Do you get the answer correct? Have a mistake, right? Okay, but know your mistake, right? So if there's a discount, you must start with 100, you must have 100% first. Then later you can minus away 25%, all right? To get how many percent you pay. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, next one, back to the bucket B already. So it should be something easier. So what do? You do the bracket first. You take 34, and there's a plus, and this is 18, and then divide by 6. All right, which one do you do first? Plus and divide. You do the divide first. So 34 plus 3, and your answer should be 57. Okay, 57. Got it? All right, next one. What is the average amount of savings the children have? So average means you have to find the total first. Find everybody first. Then you find the total and then divide by how many percent. So you take 13 plus 9, right? And then plus 14. So what is the total? The total will be 3 plus 9 is 12. 12 plus 4 is 16. So the total is 36, right? Okay, but what's the average? Now, the average is what? You take the total and you divide by how many people are there all together. So how many people are there all together? Yeah, 4 persons. So the average is 9. Do you get your answer 9? Okay, next one. Okay, next page. And let's go to how do you round off the nearest tens? Now, 13.952. What is the nearest tens? Nearest tens means 1 decimal place. Remember that. That nearest 10 means 1 decimal place. So take your ruler and show 1 decimal place. Right? So you take a ruler and show what is a 1 decimal place. And then after that, you look at the digit nearest the line. Is it 5 and bigger? Yes, add 1. Right? And then you will get 14.0. Right? Which is your 1 decimal place. If you write 14, your answer is wrong because that's not decimal, right? That's not the nearest 10. This is your nearest 10, 14.0. Okay? Okay, next one. Now, starting from 6 p.m., a bus leaves the interchange at intervals of 6 minutes. Mr. Kang reached the interchange at 6:27 p.m. So what's the earliest time he can board the bus? And give the answer in 24-hour clock. Then it's best to draw a line. Okay, draw a timeline. If you are confused, draw a timeline and you start from 6 p.m. and the bus leaves at intervals of 6 minutes, right? Intervals of 6 minutes. So 6 p.m. a bus leaves. Then what time will the next bus leave? That will be another 6 minutes later, 6:06 p.m. And then the next bus will be 6:12 p.m. Right? And then the next bus will be what time? Another 6 minutes later, that'll be 6:18. And then plus another 6 minutes, that'll be 6:24, right? 6:24 p.m. Right? So what happened? Mr. Kang reached at 6:27 p.m., right? So he has missed the 6:24 bus already. Right? So you continue to draw. 6 minutes later, that'll be 6:30. So the next bus will come at 6:30. So what's the earliest time he can board the bus? 6:30 p.m. But you need to write as 24-hour clock. So this is p.m. You have to add 12 to what? Add 12 to 6, right? So that'll be 18 already, right? 12 plus 6. So 18:30. So the bus will reach at 18:30. You get the answer correct? Okay, now this one. City bought 3 dozen. What is a dozen? A dozen is 12, right? Dozen. So 3 dozen will be 3 times 12. That'll be 36 pence. Right? She gave away 3/4 of the pence. So which means that all the pence must be 4/4. Right? Fraction. So 1 whole, what is 1 whole? 1 whole means everything, all the pence, which is how many? Which is 36. Then your 1/4 will be 36 divided by 4. So 1/4 is 9 pence. So if she give away 3/4, then how many pence did she give away? So 3/4 will be, you take 9, which is 1/4, then you times 3. And she must have given away 27 pence. So do you get the answer correct? Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, now Mr. Wong has some marks, right? Some marks. If he puts them into boxes of 6 or 8, there will be 3 marks left. So what's the least number of marks that Mr. Wong has? Now, 2 marks will be a little harder, but still not very hard. But so you think about your methods. What method? What can you use? You can do something like listing, right? Listing, right? If you put them into boxes of 6, so 1 box, there are 6. Okay, you draw a table. 1 box got 6. 1 box got what? 1 box got 6 marks inside, and there will be 3 marks left. Okay, right? If you put them into boxes of 6, there will be 3 marks left. That's why you have a remainder 3. Remainder 3 means what? Extra. So how many marks did he have? Actually, maybe 9. Right? He has 9 at first. Okay, then how about boxes of 8? Then you draw another similar table. So 1 box has 8 marks. And there will also be 3 marks left. Right? It means you have a leftover. 3 marks left means extra. Right? So how many marks at first? There must be 11. Okay, so what do? Then you use a table, and what do? Use a table to find the answer. So you start to list out 2 boxes, 3, 4, and 5, right? So you have 2 times 6, 3 times 6, 4 times 6, 5 times 6. Okay? And then after that, 12 plus 3 will be 15, 18 plus 3 is 21, 24 plus 3 is 27, 30 plus 3 is 33. Got it? This is called systematic listing. This is a method. Do the same for the other table. So you have 2 boxes, 3, 4, and 5. 5 boxes. So 2 times 8, 3 times 8, 4 times 8, and 5 times 8. And then 16 plus 3 will be 19, 34 plus 3, 32 plus 3, and 40 plus 3. Okay, now, can you look at the last row? Okay, look at the last rows. And do you see any same number? Do you see any numbers the same in the last row? Last row, right? Look at the third row. There's no number the same, right? Right, where's the last row? Right over here. This is the last row. and over here the last row. So do you see any number the same? Don't have. So we have to continue to list, right, until you get a same number. Okay, so let's continue to list. So you have 6, right? 6 marks, or 6 boxes, and then 7, and maybe until 8. So 6 times 6, 7 times 6, 8 times 6. And then 36 plus 3, 42 plus 3, and 48 plus 3. Okay, right? And then do the same for the table below, do the same. All right, so for Wei Hong, you have to understand how to use the method here, how to use this method, which is a bit, which is quite easy, but a lot of numbers to write. So you have 6 boxes, 7, and 8 boxes. So 6 times 8, 7 times 8, 8 times 8. And then 48 plus 3, you get 51, 56 plus 3, and 64 plus 3. Now, can you see any number the same? Is there any number the same? So if you look carefully, do you see any number the same? Yeah, if you look carefully, there is a 51, 51. Right? Can you see that? Right, so this is the purpose of the method. You do systematic listing, and then you look for a number in the last row. Do you see a same number in the last row? Yes, there is a same number, which is 51. So how many marks did Mr. Wong have? 51. Right, 51. Okay, so what's the method called? Now the method is called what? Systematic. Right, you may want to remember this method. Systematic listing. Right, that's the method. Right, so you have a few methods: model drawing, assumption, systematic listing. Okay, done. Okay, let's do the next one. Now, Bala bought 3/4 kg of flour, and he gave away 1/8 kg of flour, and he used 1/3 kg of flour to make some cookies. How much flour left? So you must take 3/4, right? 3/4 kg minus 1/8 kg, and then also minus 1/3 kg, right? Okay. And why you can minus all the fractions? Because the fractions all have what? If you notice carefully, the fractions all have the same unit sign. So you can plus and minus them. All right. So what do you do next? You make the denominator the same. So I got denominator 4, I got 8, I got 3. So do you still remember how to make the denominator the same? You find the common multiple. Look at the biggest number. And 16, can 16 divided by 4? Can. But can 16 divided by 3? Cannot. Then the next one will be 24. Can 24 divided by 4? Can. Can 24 divided by 3? Can. So what's the common denominator? 24. Do you follow? So you have to make the denominator into 24. So you times 6, and then on top times 6, times 3, and then times 3. Then times 8, and then on top times 8. So what do you get? 18 over 24 minus 3 over 24 and minus 8 over 24. Okay, and then you have 18 minus 3, 15, right? 15. 15 minus 8, that'll be 7. So how many cookies left? He has 7 over, how much flour did he have left? 7 over 24 kilograms of flour left. You get the answer correct? Why didn't you get the answer correct? What happened? You know your mistake? Yeah, okay. So when you plus and minus fractions, how must you do? You have to make the denominator the same. Okay, once you're done, let me know once you're done. Okay, done. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, now the figure shows a 3/4 circle of radius 7 cm. So this is the radius 7, and here also 7. Find the area of the figure. Right, so how do you find the area of the figure? Now, if you look carefully, you can cut the figure into quadrants. one quadrant, two quadrants, and three quadrants, right? So can you find the area of one quadrant? So find the area of one quadrant. So how do you find the area? Okay, now you have 1/4 times pi r squared. Okay, the formula is pi r squared. And then you take 1/4 times pi, which is 22/7. And what's the radius? 7 times 7. Okay, and no calculator. So you have to cancel, right? So understand how to cancel? You have to change the whole number into a fraction. Then you cancel. How to cancel? Divide by 7, divide by 7, right? And then 4 divided by 2, 22 divided by 2. Okay, all right, can you cancel anymore? Cannot cancel already, right? Then you circle, right? Circle. Multiply them, right? Multiply those numbers you never that you circle. So you have 11 times 7, 77. Then you circle those numbers you never cancel. 2 times 1 times 1, you get 2. And then what is 37 divided by 2? Then you do your working. So you have 77 divided by 2. So 3 times 2 is 6. And you minus, bring down the 7. 6 times 2 is, oh, not 6 times 2. That will be 8 times 2, right? So let's do again. 7 minus 6 is 1. Bring down the next digit. 8 times 2 is 16. That's the remainder 1. Okay, but what do? You can change it to decimal, right? So you add a 0.0, bring down. So do you do that? And then you bring out the decimal point, and then 5 times 2 will be 10. Okay, so what's the area of one quadrant? 38.5. So this is the area of one quadrant. But how many quadrants are there? There are three quadrants. So you must take 38.5 and then you times 3. And how to multiply? 5 times 3 is 15, carry 1. 8 times 3, 24, then plus 1, carry 2. 3 times 3 is 9, 9 plus 2, 11. Now this is one decimal place, so your answer must also be the same, one decimal place. So what is the area of the figure? Which is 115.5 cm squared. So do you get the answer correct? Okay, your 2 marks is there already. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, the length of a ribbon is 1 meter, right? 1 meter and 20 cm. A florist made 3 cuts to get pieces of ribbon of equal length. So how long is one piece of ribbon? Okay, so this ribbon is 1 meter and 20 cm. So can we change it to centimeter, which is 120 centimeter. So this ribbon is 120 centimeter. All right, now why do you need to change to centimeter? Because if you are going to divide, right, if you are going to divide, then you must change the meter and centimeter into centimeter. The florist made 3 cuts. So how many pieces will he get? So you cut 1, 2, and 3. 3 cuts. Can you see 3 cuts? And there'll be 4 pieces already, right? Then you take 120 cm and divide by 4. So how long is one piece? So one piece is 30 cm, which is your answer. Do you get the answer correct? How long is one piece? The ribbon, right? Ribbon, the florist made 3 cuts. You cut 3 times, you get 4 pieces. So one piece must be 120 divided by 4. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, now next one. Speed. Okay, we will skip the speed because you haven't learned that. So we will skip this question. All right. So 35, we will skip that. And then because it will be tested in the PSLE. So let's go on to the next one. And Terry had 9/10 liters of fruit juice. He poured 1/12 liters into 1 cup. How many cups of fruit juice would he get at the most? What do? Now, he had so much fruit juice, which is 9/10, right? And 1 cup contains 1/12 liters. 1 cup. So what must you do? You have to find how many cups are there, right? So you have to find how many cups are there. You divide, right? You divide to get how many cups. So how to divide fractions? So you keep the first number, first fraction, change the divide to times, and then flip the second fraction upside down. All right, and then you cancel. Divide by 2, and then divide by 2. And what do you get? You will get 9 times 5 is 45. 9 times 5 is 45. Oh, you can cancel again. Actually, you can cancel some more, right? You can cancel the 5 and the 5 also. All right, so 9 times 5 is 45. 5 times 1 is 5. So how many cups of fruit juice can he get at the most? Your answer will be 9 cups. Do you get 9 cups? Okay, so not difficult, right? It's actually quite easier. Okay, let's go to the next one. Now, Mr. Star wants to buy 42 pens, right? 42 pens. You look at the picture, right? One pen is 20 cents each. If you buy one box, what happens? It's $3.35. And in the box, there are 8 pens inside. Okay, so which one do you think is cheaper? Which one do you think is cheaper? To buy one pen or to buy one box? Right? Which one do you think is cheaper? Is to buy, if you think carefully, if I want to buy 8 pens, do I want to buy 8 separate pens or do I want to buy one box of 8 pens? Which one is cheaper? I will buy one box of 8 pens because it's cheaper than buying 8 separate, right? 8 separate pens. Okay, Mr. Star wanted to buy 42 pens. So what was the least money that she needed to pay for the pens? So she wants to buy 42 pens, right? So she should buy boxes. So she should buy one box of 8 pens, another box, 8 pens, another box. That'll be how many already? That'll be 24. Then buy another one more box. That'll be 32. 32 pens already, right? And then buy another one more box. That'll be 5 boxes already. Okay, so there are 5 boxes, and then there is a remaining of 2, right? There are 2 pens remaining. All right, so she has to buy 5 boxes of 8 pens. So how much is this 5 boxes of 8 pens? So you take 5 times $3.55 because one box is $3.55. All right, do your working. $3.55, you have to times 5, and 5 times 5 is 25. Then 5 times 5, 25 again, plus 2, that'll be 27. Then 3 times 5 is 15. Then plus 2, that'll be 17. So how much is 5 boxes? That'll be $17.75. Okay? All right. But there are 2 more pens that she has to buy. So she has to buy 2 separate pens. So how much is 2 separate pens? That'll be 50 cents times 2, $1. Okay, $1 already. So how much will she spend altogether? Then she will have to spend $17.75 plus $1. So she will have to spend $18.75. Can you see that? Right, she will spend $18.75, which is the what? Which is the least amount of money she needed. Do you get the answer correct? Okay, got the answer correct. Okay, well done. 3 more questions to go, and then we are done. Okay, now the figure is made of a rectangle and a triangle. Can you find the total area of the shaded parts, of the unshaded parts? Now, how do you find the unshaded parts? You always look at regular shapes, right? Look at regular shapes, right? If I want to find the unshaded parts, then I look at this regular shape and find the area of this rectangle. So what's the area of this rectangle? You take 20 times 10, that will be 200 cm squared. Then can I see there's a triangle? So can I find the area of this triangle? So what's the area of this triangle? So you look at the base. Okay, what's the base? Okay, let me draw a bit nicely, right? It's a bit untidy. So let me just draw the triangle a bit nicely. So this is here, all right? This is the triangle, the shaded triangle. Okay, now if you look carefully, can you see there's a marking there? There's a 4 cm. This is also a marking. So it means they are equal. If this is 4 cm, then here also 4 cm. So what's the base? The base is 20 minus 4, 16 cm. And then what's the height of the triangle? The height must be right angle to the base. Remember, the height of the triangle must be right angle. So the height is, you take 10, and then you minus 4, and that's how you get the height, which is 6 cm. Okay, so now can we find the area of the black triangle, not the white triangle? You want to find the shaded triangle. So you take half times what? Half times base times height. So half times 16, the base is 16, and then times 6. All right, base times height. So you must know your formula. Half times base times height, and then how to cancel? No calculator. So what do? You divide by 2, and then divide by 2. Okay, and then whatever numbers you never cancel, you go and circle. So you have 1 times 8 times 6. That's 48. Then 1 times 1, then times 1. That's 1. So what's the area of the shaded triangle, which is 48 cm squared? So now can you find the unshaded? You take the whole rectangle, which is 200 minus the shaded, and and then what do you get? You will get the area of the unshaded triangle, which is how many? Which is 152 cm squared. Do you get the answer correct? Okay, you got your 2 marks again. Okay, let's go to the next question already. Okay, now angles already. Now ABCD is a square. Every time you see a square, you have all sides are equal, right? And squares have right angles at the corners. And not only that, you cut the square into half. Right? When you cut the square into half, you cut the right angle into 45, and here also 45 degrees. Okay? And then there's a parallelogram, right? So where's the parallelogram? So there's a parallelogram here. So you have 2 lines that are parallel. So this is parallel to this line, and over here also parallel. Okay? So every time you see parallel lines, look for Z. Okay, is there a Z? You can look for Z. So where is angle X? You're supposed to find this question mark. Okay, what do? Opposite angles in the what? Opposite angles in the parallelogram are equal. Right? 45 degrees. So now can you find angle X already? You take angle on a straight line, right? Straight line, right, 80, and you minus 45 degrees, and you get angle X, which is 135 degrees. So angle X is 135 degrees. Do you get the answer correct? Okay, all right. Let's go on to the next one. Now, percentage already. And this one looks hard already. Okay, looks hard. So let's look carefully, right? Percentage is a little hard now, but don't worry. How do? You can draw the model. Okay, draw the model. Mrs. Tan always save 30% of her salary. So let's draw her salary. So her salary is how many percent? A very special number. Okay, her salary has a very special number, 100%, which is all the money that she has. And she saved 30%, right? So you cut. She saved 30%. And how many percent did she spend? She must have spent 70%. Okay, got it? So that is your model, percentage model. Okay, what happens? Now in June, her salary increased by 10%. 10%. Oh dear. Then what happened? What happened to the rectangle now? Now the rectangle becomes longer already. All right. So the rectangle now become longer in June. So this is a salary, right? And it has now become longer by how many percent? By 10% more. So the rectangle has now become longer by 10%. So how many percent? That will be now 110% already. 110%. Can you see that? Right? Okay. Now, do you think in June she will save 30% also? Do you think she will save 30% also? No, she will not save 30% anymore. She will save more money already because now she has more money in the salary. So she will save more money and she will also spend more money. Right? So imagine Miss Dawn has more money now. Then what do? I can save more. I can also spend more. Right? But if Miss Dawn has lesser money, what happened? Then I will save lesser and spend lesser. Okay, so how many percent do you think she will save, right, in June? So what do? It has to increase already, right? So the savings has to increase already. So how many percent is that? So the savings will become 10% more. But can you take 30% plus 10 equal 40%? Cannot. You cannot take 30% plus 10 equal 40%. Why cannot? Because they are different, right? The rectangle on top and below, they are different. So what do? So which means that your 100%, right, your saving, look at the savings here, right, savings. So the saving will now increase by 10% also. So before you can plus 10% more for the savings, you must start with 100% again. All right, so you cannot take 30% saving plus 10%, right? You have to start with 100% for the savings. So you look at this 30%, right? Look at this 30%, right? So your 100% is now 30. right? Your 100% is now 30. All right. So can you find what is 10%, right? What is 10%? So 10% will be you divide by 10, and then here you also divide by 10. So 10% is 3. 3. So what does that mean? It means that how many percent did she save in June? Now she will save also 10% more. If the salary increased by 10%, then then her savings will also increase by 10%. So and how much is 10%? Which is 3. So you take 30, 30 plus 3. So how many percent is the savings in June? That will be 33%. You understand? Very important here. This can be quite confusing. So you cannot take 30% plus 10% become 40%. All right, so if you say that she saved 40% in June, that's wrong. All right, so what do? Now, you have to, before you can plus 10% more, you must always start with 100% again. So what is your 100%? Your 100% is the savings, which is 30%. Then later, you find how much is 10%. If 100% is 30, 10% is 3, right? Then the savings will be how much in June? 30 plus 3, the savings will be 33%. Right? Not 40, not 40, not 30 plus 10 become 40. Right? So lesson here. Before you can plus or minus percentage, you have to always start with 100% first. 100%. Okay? All right. So now can you find how many percent did he spend? So he must have spent how many percent? You take 110 and you minus 33. So what is 110 minus 33? So you do your working. Okay, 110 minus 33, he must have spent 77% in June. And then you plus them together, that's how you get 110%. Okay, so now continue reading. Now, because of her increase in the salary, she saved $120 more. Can you see that? Right, she saved $120 more because of the increase in the salary. So if you compare the savings, how much more did she save? How many percent more did she save? 33% minus 30%, she has saved 3% more. And the 3% more is also $120 more. Then you find 1%. So 1% will be 120 divided by 3, that will be $40. So how much was the salary in June? So be careful. Which rectangle do you look at? You look at the longer rectangle. So how many percent is the salary in June? Which is 110%. So no calculator. How do you do faster without calculator? You take 110 times 40. So 11 times 4 is 44 and put 2 zeros behind. So her salary in June was $4,400. Okay? Now, what's the important lesson here for Wei Hong? Now, the important lesson here is this. Before you can plus percentage or minus percentage, you always have to start with 100% first. All right, 100%. Okay? Okay, now we are done with the Raffles paper 1 already. All right, so I'm going to end the recording and then we're going to move to paper 2. So what happened is when you do your homework, right, you have to do your paper 1 on the actual paper. Then see whether you get the same answer. If you get the answer wrong, you watch the video again. Okay, understand? Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording now, and so the recording will stop for this part of the lesson. Okay,